Multiple breaking news stories here on WKYT News at noon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Victor Puente.
And I'm Kristen Kennedy. A state representative just filed a petition to try and kick out the board chair of Fayette County Public Schools.
Representative Matt Lockett served parts of Fayette County. He says Tyler Murphy's actions as school board chair are impeachable offenses. WKYT's Kelsey Soto got those documents about an hour ago. Kelsey, what's in them?
Well, the petition says removal from office is warranted because board chair Tyler Murphy, quote, breached the public trust and engaged in a variety of inappropriate acts. Representative Lockett goes into detail about those supposed acts. He says Murphy failed to provide adequate oversight for the superintendent's spending. He says Murphy knew about the $16 million budget deficit and for several months failed to tell other board members. The petition also claims Murphy voted to certify a multi-million-dollar increase in the occupational license tax. That's the same tax that didn't go through because the vote was later declared unconstitutional by the Attorney General. Representative Lockett talks about a handful of other actions. We're going to go into more detail about those coming up tonight on WKYT News starting at 4. And we're also hearing from some other board members who are disappointed with that petition. Representative Lockett was actually one of the first to call for Superintendent Dr. Demetrius Ligon's resignation after our months-long reporting on the district's financial fallout. Those documents are online right now for you to check out.